Hi there. Welcome to my presentation of applications and errors in permanent magnet moving coil instrument. In the earlier presentation, we have seen the construction and working principle of permanent magnet moving coil. Now we are going to see the advantages, disadvantages, applications, and different types of errors in permanent magnet moving coil and the remedies of them. I am Swati Polasa, lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Sanjay Gandhi Government Polytechnic, Adilabad. So we'll have a quick recap on permanent magnet moving coil instrument construction and different talks. This is the construction overview of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. We'll have a horseshoe magnet and then we'll have pole pieces attached to it. Then we'll have a core. This is pole piece core. And we'll have former on a core, and on that we'll have coils, and it is carried by a spindle with two springs attached in the upper part and the lower part. We have pointer attached to the spindle. Spindle is supported by pivot and jewel bearing system. Pointer will be moving over a calibrated scale. Electromagnetic effect is used for production of deflecting torque in permanent magnet moving coil instrument. And the controlling torque is produced by spring control. Damping torque is produced by eddy current damping. Now, hearing the recap of constructional details and torque details of permanent magnet moving coil instrument, let us proceed further, looking at the advantages of PMMC instruments. First thing is, the PMMC instruments are sensitive to small current. That means we can have even small currents measured with the help of PMMC instrument. And we must have learned already that galvanometers also measure very small amounts of currents, and thus PMMC instruments are very much suitable for galvanometers. They are very accurate and reliable. They have uniform scale up to 270 degrees or more. Let us understand what does it mean by uniform scale up to 270 degrees or more. We have already learned that the deflection torque of PMMC instrument is proportional to the current, and the controlling torque of PMMC instrument is proportional to angle of deflection, and from at the point of equilibrium, we should have deflecting torque is equals to controlling torque. That means K, some constant K1 into I should be equals to some constant K into theta. From this we can say that, or theta is proportional to I. So less is the current, less will be the angular deflection, more is the current, more will be the angular deflection. And the change in current and the change in deflection is same. And that is what we call as uniform scale. So if we just try to draw Say this is their center, and this is the pointer, and the pointer is supposed to run through the calibrated scale, and this will be 0 if the scale is uniform. The angular distance between two readings will be the same. You can see this distance, this distance, this distance is same. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And this is what we mean by uniform scale. In some meters, we'll have scale crowded at beginning, like this is 0, this is 1, this will be 1.5, here will be 2, there will be 3, 4, 5, like that. You must be seeing some instruments with scale in this manner. So this happens only when the scale is not uniform. But in PMMC, we can have scale uniform, that too up to 270 degrees. That means generally we see around 180 maximum, deflection of 180 degree, but we can also have 270 degree and even more than that. This is more than sufficient for us to have a comfortable reading and viewing the meter reading. So, and it is here it also says that it is very effectively built, and the damping in permanent magnet moving coil system is very effective. So it is very effective. Built-in damping is present in permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Only an aluminum former does the job. We don't require an additional magnet, and we don't require any disc or other conductor. So just by placing an aluminum former in between a core and a coil will do the job of developing or producing the eddy current damping. Some other advantages of PMMC instrument are, it has low power consumption, very low power consumption, varies from 25 microwatt to 200 microwatt. It is an important characteristic of an instrument that it should not become load to the circuit. We are, as an instrument, its duty is only to measure things, but not to act like a load. And that means it should consume very, very, very less power, and it should show the reading. And that job is done well by permanent magnet moving coil instrument. You can see that it consumes very less power of around 25 microwatt to 200 microwatt. And it is free from hysteresis and not affected by external fields because its permanent magnet shields the coil from external magnetic field. First thing, hysteresis occurs only when the molecular magnets of the molecule or a core get reversed. So hysteresis occurs when the molecular magnets of the core reversal occurs. Because in this case, we use a permanent magnet and we have direct current given to the coil. Our PMMC is free from hysteresis. And it is not affected by external fields because we have a horseshoe magnet, as we have seen in our first slide about the construction. We have a horseshoe magnet, which that means our moving coil is surrounded by a magnet, and hence external magnetic fields will have very, very least effect on the coil. That is a very beautiful advantage of PMMC, and it is easily adopted as multi-range instrument. We can adopt PMMC to a multi-range instrument easily. Multi-range instrument, let us try to understand what is the meaning of a multi-range instrument. You must have seen some instruments with three terminals. Generally, any measuring instrument uh, is sufficient to have just two terminals, but PMMC, you can see there will be three or four. Like, suppose you have an ammeter and we have a range of 0 to 5 on a scale. Above 5, you will be finding some 10 figure like that, and you have three terminals of PMMC with and let me draw the same. So here you have a meter. And on the display side, you'll be having from 0 to 5, say. Now pointer is pointing to 0. Above the 5, you will be having some other value, 10 like this. And you have three terminals. This terminal says 5 ampere and the other terminal says 10 ampere. That means same measuring instrument can be used to measure currents of range 0 to 5 and also currents of range 0 to 10. If you want to measure currents of ranges 0 to 5, you have to connect it across these two terminals. Otherwise, it is sufficient. If you want to increase the range, you have to just connect terminals ground to 10. This should do. So this adaptability is easy when you consider PMMC because the scale is even. That is an added advantage. Because of that, we can have easy adoption of multi-range instruments here. Just by connecting additional resistances separately, we can have this. Coming to the disadvantages of PMMC instruments, this type of instrument can be operated in direct current only. Let us see what happens if we give alternating current. Alternating current means current will get reversed. If that happens, then the instrument does not operate. That means the pointer will not move. Why? Because in the positive half, the pointer experiences force in one direction, and in the negative half, pointer experiences the force in opposite direction. That means, let us see the alternating current of 50 hertz. 50 hertz means 50 cycles per second, which means 1 by 50 second is the time period of one cycle, which is around 0.02 second. In that 0.02 second, 0.01 second is taken for positive half second, 0.01 second is taken for negative half second. That means in 0.01 second, pointer will experience a force in, say, clockwise direction. In immediate next 0.01 second, pointer will experience a force in counterclockwise direction. So it is like very short span, pointer experiences two forces. If it was a long duration, you will find oscillations. But here it is very less duration of 0.01 second for a 50 hertz, which is a high frequency when compared to electronic circuits. Then even then, we cannot see pointer moving because it experiences force in opposite directions. So due to inertia of pointer, it retains to zero position. The moving system is very delicate and can easily be damaged by rough handling. This is the disadvantage. The moving system carries coil, which is very delicate, the joints with the spring, because spring is used for conduction, closing the circuit. If it is not handled delicately, soldering gets open, soldering breaks, so it will damage. So we should not handle the PMMC instruments in a rough manner. The coil is being very fine, cannot withstand prolonged overloading. Now, these instruments cannot handle overloading condition for a very long time. Why? Because the coil used inside the PMMC is very thin. Its current rating will be very less. If it is overloaded for a long time, it will get burnt and circuit will get cut. I mean, it will get open. That means meter will not show any reading, it gets damaged. And another one is it is costlier compared to other moving iron instruments. And the aging of the instrument may introduce some errors because of permanent magnet and the use control spring. Because of fatigue, the permanent magnet strength may not be the same because of aging. Hence, there will be some introduction of errors. And because of control spring, because of fatigue of control spring, its elasticity may get weakened. Hence, there will be some more errors because of control spring. So, aging affects PMMC a lot. Coming to the errors in permanent magnet moving coil instrument, the errors that usually occur are frictional errors. So, this error reason should be friction. So, it is named as frictional error. Temperature error, because we will not have the same temperature conditions throughout the year and at different environments like industry or a lab or somewhere else. The temperature affects. So there are some errors introduced because of temperature. We'll see each and every error in upcoming slides along with the remedies. And third one is the error owing weakening of permanent magnet and stray magnetic field error, thermoelectric error, observational error. So in a PMMC instrument, generally in any indicating instruments, we have to discuss these errors, and we have also to learn or know about the remedies of these errors so that we can set the PMMC and use it for furthermore long period. Coming to our first error, which is frictional error. The friction of the pivot in the jewel produces a frictional torque which affects the instrument reading. This error is more serious for sensitive instruments designed for low operating torque. If you want to design an instrument, which is a PMMC instrument, designed for very less operating torque, that means even less currents, then the torque is very less, which has to be more than, that means the deflecting torque itself is very less. So when the moving system moves even on a pivot jewel bearing, there will be some light friction between jewel and the pivot, the spindle. So there must be some torque produced to overcome this friction, then only your pointer will start moving. So PMMC will have that torque, friction torque, which is produced between pivot and the jewel, a bit more. That low torques, low operating torques cannot be shown in PMMC. So PMMC is suitable for a bit high torques. Now, in order to avoid this frictional error, what we have to do? The remedy for it will be the frictional error can be produced by providing. So the remedy for this frictional error in PMMC can be produced by providing proper pivoting and balancing. That is, these errors may be reduced by adopting a moving system of light construction and large deflecting torques. So, we have to reduce the weight of the moving system. To reduce the frictional errors, first thing we have to do is we have to reduce the weight of the moving system. And another one is we have to balance the pivot on the jewel. We have to balance the spindle on the jewel in a proper manner that the frictional errors are reduced. And the third one is we have to design the PMMC in such a manner that it gets large deflecting torques. It gets large deflecting torques even for low operating currents. So this is how we can reduce the frictional errors. This is how we can tackle with the frictional error that we see in our PMMC instrument. The second one is the error owing to weakening of permanent magnet. We have seen that permanent magnet is used in PMMC instrument. The permanent magnet strength will not be same as it ages. Aging means as days pass on, the field strength of the magnet will not be the same. That means the flux density B is going to change. Now, at the time of design, if B is some value and then you have designed PMMC, you have prepared a calibrated scale, everything is done. After 1 or 2 years, or say after 10 years or 15 years, the permanent magnet will get weakened. When it gets weakened, B will change. So here, you can please check out on the right side. So We know that the deflecting torque is equals to B I A N. So the deflecting torque, if after years this B is getting changed, when it is getting changed, the deflecting torque will get reduced. But spring control is there. Say spring control is good for 15 years. It will not get changed. It will be the same, which is proportional to deflection. Now, at point of equilibrium, TD should be equals to TC. That means deflection is proportional to I. But because of this change, it will be proportional to BI because B is also changing here. We are taking case of large duration. So at first it was B1 say, that means deflection is proportional to I into B1. Now after 10 years, it is B2 say, that means after 10 years, deflection would be proportional to, even though current is same, proportional to B2 which is less. That means, say if you are giving 5 amperes of current at time of this designing, for I is equals to 5, say it has shown the scale reading of 5 scale reading. For that scale reading, deflection, angle of deflection was say 90°. Now B value got reduced. Even though the current is 5 ampere, theta should get reduced. That means it should be less than 90°. Now when it is less than 90°, it won't be showing 5. It will be showing less than 5. And that is the error which we are discussing now. Error owing to the weakening of permanent magnet. I hope this is clear. Let me repeat it once again quickly. We count the error owing to weakening of permanent magnet for a long duration gap. Say, at the time of design, our magnetic flux density of the permanent magnet is B1. After 10 years, say it got reduced to B2. Now, at the time of design, we are trying to measure 5 ampere of current and it was showing the scale of 5. Say the scale is from 0 to 5 and maximum angle of deflection is 0 to 10 and 90. That means we are discussing about the case of full scale deflection. So for 5 amperes, it should be showing 5 and the angle of deflection is 90. Now after 10 years, the deflection is proportional to I into B2. Why? Because B is also changing. I have to put B also in this equation, in this proportionality. So theta is proportional to I into B2. Now B2 got reduced because it is weakening of magnet. I'm trying to measure the same current 5 ampere. So I is constant here, but B2 got reduced because of aging. Theta will get automatically reduced because it depends on I and B2. Now when theta is reducing, that means angle of deflection is reducing. Now full scale deflection was 90, but even though now you give 5 ampere, it will not turn through 90. It will be turning only to some value less than 90. That means it is not going to show 5 on the scale. It will show some reading which is less than 5, but our current is 5 ampere. That means there is some error introduced. So the error owing to weakening of permanent magnet occurs very slowly in magnet, but in instruments liable to vibrations, change of position and stray magnetic fields, here it is trying, here the reasons for weakening of permanent magnet quickly is shown. Generally, if you place a permanent magnet in a no steady conditions where there is no disturbance and all, its life would have been better. But when we are dealing with the meters, we take that meter, we use it, we move it, we change its position, we use it in some other place, we bring it, we use it in different environments where there are strong magnetic fields, external magnetic fields. Now, liable to those conditions of vibration, change of position, stray magnetic fields, etc. The magnet or the demagnetization of the instrument or the magnet may be considerably accelerated. That means if you don't move the permanent magnet, if you don't place it in different environments of, say, external magnetic fields or vibration, or in different positions, why? Because position also get affected. Because Earth is a magnet, it will be acting like an external magnetic field which tries to weaken the permanent magnet field. So if you do all those things, the demagnetization effect will get accelerated when you compare if you don't do any of these things. So liable to these, the error prone is quick. So if I said 10 years, it may happen in 5 years if you use it in different conditions and vibrating conditions, and if you change positions often, and there are a lot of stray magnetic fields, the life, if this error introduction would be in just 5 years or 3 years or so. Now we'll discuss about the error, remedy of the error. Remedy of the error owing to weakening of permanent magnet can be reduced by proper attention to aging and reasonable caring use. So when you are using the permanent magnet, the moving coil instrument, we should take proper care in handling it, and also we should check the full scale deflection maybe after 4 years, 5 years, check for whether the instrument is working up to the mark, whether the permanent magnet got weakened, and then that is what we call as proper attention to aging. If aging occurs, then I think you have to replace or you magnetize the permanent magnet again and then use. The third error is stray magnetic field error. Stray magnetic field means external magnetic field. The error due to stray magnetic field may be appreciable as the operating magnetic field is weak. This may give rise to wrong reading. Such errors depends upon the direction of stray magnetic field relative to the field of the instrument. Let us discuss this also in detail. Please check on the right side. Say this is our magnet. Here you will have a moving system. This is our permanent magnet. Now, when there is no external magnetic field, there will be magnetic flux of, say, B. Now, when we have introduced this instrument in external magnetic field. I am mentioning it in red because it is introducing errors. So say we have some other magnetic field here, and say here we have some strong magnet, because say this is some machine, and it has a very strong magnetic field. It produces a very strong magnetic field. So there will be magnetic lines of force, of course, weakens as the distance is more, but it is very strong. So even this field can affect our PMMC. So say this is north and south, so your direction is in this way. And here, say this is north and south, our magnetic direction. So magnetic lines of force of permanent magnet inside the instrument is as shown here. Magnetic lines of force of stray magnetic field is as shown here. So what happens here is both of them aids, and the air gap, I'll put it as BA. Say B is the air gap under normal condition, and B1 is the magnetic flux density that is trying to influence the permanent moving PMMC instrument. So our BA, now resultant BA will be, if they are like this, they both 8s, so it will be B plus B1. Now, as we have discussed earlier, angle of deflection is proportional to B also. For same currents measurement, this is proportional to B also. So if it has to give full scale deflection at I is equals to 5 ampere under normal conditions, with the influence of stray magnetic field, there will be full scale deflection of at current of just 4 amperes because of influence of stray magnetic field. Here, the stray magnetic field is aiding. Suppose, I think if this is clear. Now, suppose we have magnetic field in opposite direction with the, now we have magnetic field direction in opposite direction. That means here stray magnetic field south is there, here north is there. So magnetic lines of force direction is in opposite direction. So B is as usual, but B1 is in opposite direction. So what happens? Instead of aiding, here we'll have difference, which means BA, resultant air gap flux, is going to be B minus B1. So now, if under normal condition, full scale deflection was for I is equals to 5 ampere, but under effect of stray magnetic field, full scale deflection is seen at I is equals to, because even though you give 5 amperes, B is getting reduced, na? B gets reduced. So even though you give 5 amperes, deflection is very less. So full scale deflection will be for more than 5 amperes. Now under such conditions, in the rating of that means PMMC will be under overloading conditions. You will be seeing that there is no reflection, but PMMC will be under overloading condition. If you leave it like that for a longer time, PMMC will get damaged. So this is where PMMC instruments also can get damaged. So we have to take care of these stray magnetic fields. I have just discussed about aiding and differing. You may have cross magnetization effects also. We have discussed about magnetizing effect, demagnetizing effect. Aiding means magnetizing, difference means demagnetizing. We can also have cross magnetizing. Then there will be a resultant BA accordingly. Now, how to avoid these situations, how to protect our PMMC from these errors? Let us see. The remedy is this error can be reduced by using iron case for ordinary instrument or a thin iron shield over the working ports. So that is the reason why the case of the PMMC is made up of iron. You will find iron case. And what happens if you give iron cases? Iron is a permeable ferromagnetic material, so you will have it allowing the magnetic lines of force. So it will, let me draw and show you the same. So if you have outer magnetic lines of force and the white one shows the iron case, inside you have PMMC, especially the coil one. Now, because iron case is a ferromagnetic material, it is a it will allow the magnetic field through it. So you will have magnetic field circuit closing in this manner. That means all the magnetic lines of force will only be flowing through the iron case because of its high permeability. So it is not allowed inside the PMMC, and thus PMMC is protected or shielded by stray magnetic fields. Now let us go for thermoelectric error. This error pertains chiefly to ammeters using shunts and is due to uneven temperature distribution in shunt arising from unequal cooling, position of mounting, bad contact at the current terminal, and Peltier effect. We have Peltier effect, and there will be bad contact at current terminal because of Peltier effect, because of position of mounting the meter, and bad contact at the current terminals happening. Why? Because the shunt is placed. We use shunts in ammeter. Shunt is a low resistance material. And what happens is because there is a resistance inside the coil, because coil is made up of copper and it will be having some resistivity. And to increase the range of the meters, we use some series resistances. So what will happen is there will be some temperature rise inside the meter. Because of that temperature rise inside the meter, material will get heated up. Similarly, shunt is there, so it will also get heated up. But while cooling down, cooling will not be uniform. It depends on mounting position also. And when cooling is not uniform, then there will be errors introduced in the PMMC instrument. And the best method of eliminating such type of errors is by using alloys of small thermoelectric power. Alloys of copper like manganese, etc., they must be used. Now, non-uniform cooling and heating will damage the contact area. That means material will get disconnected. There will be open circuit created. So we will go for different material here. So here, small thermoelectric power materials like manganese are used, but such materials should be handled carefully because we are using these materials to have uniform cooling. It doesn't happen. Uniform cooling means heat absorbed should be equals to heat removed, but it is not uniform. So then what happens is heat is retained and that portion will get damaged. So we'll have, the Pensier concept says that the charge carriers, negative electrons and positive holes, you will have negative electrons created. Of course, we don't use it in semiconductor device here. Ultimately, the point is we should have uniform cooling. We can learn about the Peltier effect later on. It is studied in semiconductor devices a lot. We go for some other material like manganese. But using such type of materials, we have to take care that while soldering, we should be very careful. The next error is observational error. Observational errors are major. They can be due to misreading of scale, parallax error, and errors of estimation. Misreading means suppose there is a multi-range instrument and we have the instrument from 0 to 5 and also 10. There will be three terminals as we have discussed earlier. Say we have connected it from 0 and 10, but the person who is taking reading is seeing only 0 to 5 reading. If he is not multiplying it with a multiplication factor. Suppose you have connected it to 0 to 5, then you have to take literal readings. But if you have connected it to 0 and 10 ampere, then we have to multiply the reading that we get into 2. That is the multiplication factor. But the person who takes, if he is not skilled enough and he don't know much about it, then he will take only from 0 to 5, and then because of that he note down wrong reading. So such type of errors are the errors due to misreading. This come under observational error. And the other one is a parallax error. This is we have to take the reading because there is a gap between a pointer and the scale. So if you look at in different views of 180 degrees on the top of the scale, you will be seeing the reading slightly varying. So different angular views will be yielding different reading. This is what we call as parallel error. We can avoid that. To avoid that, we have a mirror used. We will see it in remedies. And another type of error is errors of estimation. Errors of estimation, and also we have zero error. Zero error is like, let me draw it. So here we have a meter. I'm just drawing only display part. So here we have a pointer. This is the center. And we should be having the scale moving in 90 degrees. This is the scale. Now it is showing 0 now. But actually what happens is, after many usages, even though you don't connect anything to the meter, this will be the pointer position initially. Now, if you don't look at the 0 position of the pointer and then you just go on using it, then instead of, say, if you are trying to measure 4 ampere, instead of showing 4, it will be showing 5 or something like more than 4. Why? Because it is not adjusted to 0 initially. While purchasing, it will be showing 0 only. But after many usages, the pointer will be going somewhat more than 0, even though you don't connect it to any circuit. So before using the meter, we have to adjust it to 0. So this is what we call as zero error. And while calculations of the scale and meter constants, we have to be very careful. Otherwise, there is every chance of having observational error. So the remedies of these observational errors are: scale errors can be reduced by recalibrating the meter. If there is any scale error, then we can recalibrate the meter and we can use the same meter. And if for parallelogs, they can be reduced by using a mirror under the scale, and we have to take that reading where the pointer coincides with the shadow of the pointer in the mirror, image of the pointer in the mirror. So the shadow of the pointer and the pointer itself coincides, give the correct reading without parallel error. The image of the pointer in the mirror should not be visible to the reader for 0 parallel error. So we should not be seeing the image of the pointer. Then only we can say that image and the pointer both are getting coincide. Now 0 error can be eliminated by adjusting 0 setting before taking the reading. Failure to 0 setting before making a measurement cause error. So we have to bring back the pointer. For that, there will be facilities, and we have to just use a screwdriver, something like that, and we have to set it to 0 back. And then last error is temperature. Change in temperature affects the instrument's resistance, flux density in the air gap, and stiffness of the control spring. This is due to heating of the working coil and other resistance coil, because the resistance will get reduced, and because of that current will be different, and because of that your deflection will be different. So thermoelectric effect is something different where cooling is not uniform, and temperature error is as such, because of which virtue we have changes in properties of the material, and it will give us some error. So to reduce this temperature error, in case of moving coil instrument is used as a voltmeter, large series resistance of negligible temperature coefficient like manganese. So in case of voltmeter, we use resistances, series resistances. So there we have to use manganese. Same usage of alloys of copper like manganese will reduce temperature error as well as thermoelectric error that we have seen earlier. So this is going to eliminate error due to temperature. Coming to the applications of PMMC, PMMC are used for meter, which measures current, galvanometer, which measures even small amounts of current, ohm meter, which measures resistances, and voltmeter, which measures voltage. But they are all useful to measure in DC. Now we can also extend the usage of PMMC to measure AC. How? Let us see. For measuring, for using PMMC as voltmeter, this is the PMMC. You just have to connect a series resistance. And to use it as an ammeter for different ranges, we have to connect it as a, we have to connect a shunt resistance. And to use it as a ohm meter, we have to connect the basic meter in series with the resistance along with some DC voltage. Then it will work like a ohm meter. And if you want to use the same basic PMMC to, uh, for our AC voltmeter, then we need to use a diode which will work like a half wave rectifier. That means AC is converted to DC here, and then you feed that DC supply to PMMC because PMMC works only for DC. But here we are going to give diode, half wave rectified input to the PMMC, basic PMMC. So this is how we can use PMMC for as voltmeter, ammeter, ohm meter, and AC voltmeter. So optimistic learning outcomes of this presentation expected is the list of types of errors commonly occurring in moving coil instruments, mention the remedies for all the errors, state advantages and disadvantages of moving coil instruments, and list the applications of moving coil instruments. Hope this presentation was useful. Thank you for listening.